19 years old and battling stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma. But screw cancer, I'm just going to be me. This is what Lauren Wagner has to say about the deadly disease that jolted into her life as a freshman here at Grand Valley in 2010. Most of us on campus are students, ranging between the ages of 18 and 22, happy, healthy, and just beginning our independent lives. The last thing we think of happening to us, or even considering possible, is that even in our youth, we cannot escape the haunting clutches of cancer. This is what Lauren wants to eliminate, the belief that we are invincible, because we may be essentially safe here at Grand Valley, but even we cannot evade some of life's most traumatic experiences, such as cancer. But what makes Lauren's experience so inspiring is not only that she's a young college student who got diagnosed with cancer, it's how she handled it. My name is Samantha Shields, and this is Inspire.
Hey everyone, it's Sunday, about 9 at night, and this is kind of just a video. I'm going to talk about my story.
So, what led to the actual diagnosis?
Well, my mom was actually visiting me for family weekend, and we were riding in the car just talking, and I had an itch right here by my ear, and then I came down and felt a lump right above my collarbone, and that's what kind of stunned me because that was never there before. So I talked to my mom. I was like, "Mom, there's a lump right here. What should I do?" And she told me just wait a week, and if it goes down, you're fine. Maybe go to the doctor, see if it's mono or something. But I actually, the next weekend, was going to state for Halloween and felt it in the car, and it was actually getting bigger, and I actually made my boyfriend feel it, and it was sizably larger. And so he forced me to go call my mom and tell her to come pick me up and take me to the doctor in Clarkston. And so I went home, went to the emergency room, and the doctor referred me directly to his oncologist. I didn't go back to school that Monday. I went to the oncologist's office, and that's pretty much how it all started. And I had a biopsy and scans and everything, and it took about 2 or 3 weeks to get diagnosed, and on November 18th, I was actually diagnosed. Yeah.
So when you went to your doctor and he said you're going to go to the oncologist, what was going through your head?
So many emotions. It was insane. I didn't know how to feel. I was like, okay. I was in denial mostly, in shock. I was like, no, there's no way this is cancer. I'm 18, I'm healthy, nothing's wrong with me. It's just probably, a swollen lymph node. Maybe I had a reaction to something. I was just in great denial, and I thought of every possible outcome other than cancer, and I tried to convince myself that it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was just shocking. I remember saying, I am in an oncologist's office, and sitting there and being like, what am I doing here? Why am I here right now?
Yeah. So once you got the final, you got all the stuff done with the autopsy and stuff, did you end up coming back to Grand Valley?
Yeah, I actually made quite a few trips out home. It's a 2.5-hour drive, so I was driving back and forth pretty much the second half of the semester a couple times a week. going back to doctor's appointments, checkups, surgeries, and I was very adamant on finishing my semester because I did not want to lose all those credits. I was already past the drop date, and I had to finish the semester. I wanted those credits.
So you got diagnosed. Would you say that when you officially got diagnosed, was that the realization point? Like, I have cancer?
No. I would say I was still kind of in denial. I was like, even going into the first chemo, it was very surreal. I felt like it wasn't really happening. Like, I thought I would wake up from a dream at one point, and it really became real when my hair started to fall out. And that's when I was like, I've got cancer. Like, I'm going through chemo, I'm doing all this. And that's when it really became real for me.
Was that the toughest part, would you say?
For sure. For girls, like, my hair that was me. Like, that's the first thing people noticed about me was I had big, long, curly hair. And that's the first thing, like, people noticed. And they're like, oh, my God, I love your hair. And then it was falling out. And, like, that was the toughest part. Like, I don't think I cried over getting actually diagnosed, but I really, like, cried over losing my hair. It was like my staple. So it's like I was losing a part of me.
Would you say there was a point where you felt like kind of giving up?
I don't think there was a point when I ever felt like giving up. From the very beginning, when I found out it was actually cancer, I was like, okay, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to be fine. Like, there was never a point where I was like, I could die. Obviously, I had the realization, like, this is cancer, it kills people, but I never believed that I was going to die. I knew that I would be fine eventually. It didn't matter how long it would take, I would be fine in the long run.
So you've been always optimistic kind of about it, even from the beginning?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there was a point around second or third chemo when my hair started falling out. I was very depressed, and I was so isolated in my hometown, and I was in a very dark state. And so I was definitely down, but I was never out. Like, I fought the whole way through. I definitely was optimistic the whole way through. Even when I was sad, I would always be like, you're going to be fine. You've got this.
So what was chemo like with you?
It was terrible. I actually didn't have it as bad as most people that I've heard. Like, the stories that I've heard are horrific. I never got sick. It felt like a really bad flu. It was like I was achy and tired all the time, and it was rough. There was some days I couldn't get out of bed. I was so tired. It was not fun those days, like right after chemo. I really slept for like 18 hours or so. It was insane.
Were you handling school while you were going through some of these chemo?
No, I finished the first semester of my freshman year, and then I didn't return until this past semester. I didn't drop out, but like I took a break for a semester, and Grand Valley was actually really good about that. They just were like, okay, come back whenever you're fine, and just took a break. And if I had to handle school, it wouldn't have been possible.
Lauren was faced with one of the most deadly diseases at the most unexpected time in her life. It was such a life-changing experience that even when officially diagnosed with Hodgkin's, Lauren didn't absorb it. It hadn't actually hit her yet. But when it did, it was devastating. What could possibly motivate someone who has their life suddenly out of their control to keep pushing, to keep fighting? You.
What really kept me strong, obviously my friends and my family, I had a very close network of people that really were there for me day in and day out. And another thing was I actually started a YouTube channel, and I think once that got popular and it took off, I had thousands of people that I didn't even know that were there supporting me, and really I didn't even know them, and they kept me optimistic and energetic every day, and that's what really helped.
So where did you get the idea to start the YouTube channel?
Well, when I was first going through it all, before I got diagnosed, I actually was looking around on the internet. Worst thing you can do if you're getting diagnosed with something. But I was looking around on the internet looking for, like, just people that had been going through the same thing to kind of gauge what this experience was going to be like. And I couldn't find anything. I mean, I found one or two people, but it really wasn't helpful. So I went through and I was like, I should document my stuff. It'll be good for me. I'll have a diary kind of thing for myself, and then I can share with, originally it was just supposed to be like friends and family. I can share with them what I'm going through instead of having to type over and over to all these people how I'm doing. So that's where I originally got the idea. And then I started posting them on YouTube and a blog, and then it kind of just took off from there.
So have any of these followers actually like made contact with you?
Oh yeah, tons. I get emails even today, 7 months out, saying, I love watching your videos, you've inspired me, I'm so glad you made it through and everything. And I actually got really close with a few people. There's one in particular, his name is Freddie, he's from the UK, and he was in a very low point in his life and really reached out to me. And I don't know what compelled me so much to respond to his original email, but I just felt like I needed help to help him. And so we talked for a few months, and we're actually still talking today. He was very down on his luck, like out of shape, didn't like his friends, like was in a really bad place. And I actually just heard from him a few weeks ago, and he said that he's now a certified CrossFit instructor. He's volunteering at an elementary school. He's going to school for training. Like, wow. He's doing really well.
So this was something that you're feeling as you're going through the whole chemotherapy and being diagnosed and everything. You're feeling this from these people that you don't even know, these supporters. Was that just like, how did that feel?
Amazing. Like, the fact that people felt the need to reach out to me and were telling me that I inspire them, even if they aren't going through anything, just normal people telling me that they've inspired them to stop complaining or stop worrying about this or that is amazing. It's uplifting, and it's gave me a lot of positive energy, and it made me realize, wow, I'm actually doing something, making an impact in this world.
So did people ever contact you kind of seeking advice?
All the time. There would be a lot of younger kids, because this is a disease that affects a younger population. And so there would be 13, 14, 15-year-olds who would reach out and be like, either I have cancer or my friend has cancer, asking how to deal with it. And most of the time I would respond, and like if they had a friend with cancer, they'd ask, what do I do for them? And I just told them, sit with them, do whatever they want, laugh with them. That's the best thing you can do, is just to laugh with them.
And did anybody that had cancer themselves contact you?
Yeah, definitely. I get a lot of emails from survivors and telling me that they completely relate to my story and that they know exactly what I was feeling and what I was going through. I get tons of emails. Most of the people that contact me are survivors or going through it right now, looking for just support or reaching out to hear what I have to say.
How would you say your family handled the diagnosis and the whole process of?
It was rough. I have to say I felt like I had to be the backbone at the same time, because I know it was very hard. Like, my dad took it pretty rough, but so did my mom. Both my parents. It was, their baby was diagnosed with cancer. What are you going to do? And so I felt like I had to be strong and not show any weakness so that they wouldn't have to be too worried. And that was fine with me. I'm naturally that way, so it wasn't any burden on me. But it was very rough. I'd never seen my dad so down. And when I actually was declared cancer-free, he was the happiest I've ever seen. I have never seen him express that much emotion, and that time period was the most emotional I've ever seen my dad, and it was touching and shocking at the same time.
What about your friends?
Some of them, when you go through something like this, you really do find out who your friends are. And a lot of them, I got really close, a lot closer with some of them, and then some of them kind of distanced themselves, because I had a really big group of friends in high school, and I really don't talk to some of them now. I feel like being someone, like being 18, knowing someone going through cancer, you don't know how to deal with it, so I completely understand. But yeah, I definitely lost a few friends, I would say, because they just didn't know how to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. I mean, I gained a few friends in the process too. So
these friends that you gained, what did they do for you? How did they help you get through this process?
My roommate now, Megan, she was there day in and day out, making sure she brought me pies, and she made me watch How I Met Your Mother, and she did great things for me. She kept my spirits high because most of my friends were all gone at school, and she was around, and she kept my spirits up the whole time, and I was able to just be normal with her. She didn't pity me or anything. She was just, it was time to be normal when I was hanging out with her, and it was very refreshing.
So that was something that really helped you, was just to be normal.
Just being normal was tremendous. It did great things for me. It made me feel even better, like I can get through this. It made me feel that way.
Hey YouTube, so it is June 2nd, 2011. 6 months since I first got diagnosed with cancer. And I can officially say that I am in full remission. I am cancer free, and I have never been so happy in my life.
When you got told finally that you were cancer free, what was your reaction?
Words can't describe how happy I was, and it was just like 100 pounds just lifted off of me, that I didn't have to face this anymore. I didn't have to go to chemo anymore. I was ready. I could live a normal life again. And actually, it was pretty funny. I don't know if you guys know the song by One Republic, Good Life, but that was the first song that I heard after being declared cancer-free. I was in the car going to my friend's house, and that song came on, and I just bawled because I was so happy, and it was just so suiting to everything that was happening. And I mean, I felt free, really. Like, I didn't have these chains on me anymore. Like, nothing could hold me back. I really felt invincible again. Like, I was ready to take on anything.
So now, how long has it been since you've been cancer-free?
About 7 months now.
How's it feel?
Amazing. I've got a whole new outlook on everything. I'm just a very different person from before cancer to now. And you know, I'm not bitter about cancer. Yeah. I've accepted that it happened, and I've accepted the changes that it's made, and I'm kind of happy about it, like that it happened, because it changed me for the better, and I'm grateful that I was able to take away from it what I have.
What do you have? What did you take away from cancer?
I've taken away a much better appreciation for all the things around me, for the people that surround me in my daily life. I try my best to express my gratitude towards those people, and I don't worry about little things anymore. I'm very relaxed now about life, and I have fun, and because that's the only way to live. I mean, if you're going to live stressed out and worrying about everything, you're just going to waste your time. And I'm glad that cancer showed me, hey, why are you wasting time? You're not invincible. You could die any day, so why not live to the fullest?
Now that you're cancer-free, have you gotten involved in any organizations that kind of support people with cancer?
Yep, I'm actually in Colleges Against Cancer here at Grand Valley, and we're running Relay for Life and everything, and it's been a blast so far. I'm getting really involved in that and planning things, and I'm actually getting music for the survivors' benefit and everything. So it's really fun. Like, it's really great to be involved with this club and just getting in my path, getting towards where I need to go. Because I want to do medical social work, so definitely want to work with cancer survivors and patients probably the rest of my life.
What would you ask of people to take from this interview? Like, why did you do this interview?
Honestly, one of the biggest things in life is sharing your experiences. Whether it's cancer or you went to this dance and saw this crazy band or something. Mm-hmm. Like, just share your experiences with other people. That's my biggest thing. And to know that you're not invincible. Life isn't all candy and roses and puppies. Like, you have to really take what you got and love it and just love those around you.
The whole journey that I went through was made so much easier with the fact that so many people cared and wanted to be behind me, and like just help in whatever way they could. I received so much support, and I still, to this day, am receiving so much support. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what I'd do without it. And yeah, I guess everything's going well.
Finally, cancer has taught me just how strong I really am. I know now that I can do anything I set my mind to. Even through the worst of days, I managed to keep a smile on my face and to keep pushing. I'd never let the idea of cancer defeat me. As for the future, I plan on sharing my life lessons with those who need them. I want to give hope to anyone going through any sort of rough patch. I know that this is what I'm meant to do in life. So I would like to thank Dr. Fada, Dr. O'Neill, Leah, and the entire nursing staff for being so incredible throughout this entire process. I would also like to thank anyone who has supported me. Like I said, I don't know if I could have handled cancer with such grace if it weren't for you all. And as of this past Thursday, the official scoreboard reads Lauren 1, Cancer 0.